Hi everyone, welcome back to Yem TV, and today's topic is going to be all about guppy breeding. Now, I've discussed guppies on this channel before, if you watched our previous video. And at the end of that video, I told you guys that I will be posting a second video for breeding guppies. Here we are. We have two sections here. We have the setup and maintenance. Now first, we have the setup. We've talked about the 6 essentials for keeping guppies alive. Now, need a good container, good conditions for living, such as this filter and aerator, and acclimation.
Acclimation should typically be done for 15 to 30 minutes to avoid death by water shock.
In the process of breeding fish, I've observed 2 types of setups. Community tanks, like these ones we have here. And the second one is the manual transfer setup. So for the community tank setup, there are 2 pros. One is the convenience, since you won't be needing to move them around. And number 2 is less stress for the guppies, since they won't be stressed out every time you move them. Be needing better conditions, since there'll be more fish and there will be more to come. And 2, good hiding spaces for the guppy fry, since you won't be isolating pregnant females. I guess one of the cons is the maintenance, since a bigger tank means more space to clean. But it'll all work out in the end if kept well. Now let's talk about the other one, the manual transfer setup. Now we've used this setup earlier when we were breeding fish. Now let's say you have a good setup already. The next step is maintaining that setup for the beginning stages of keeping guppies. You'll want to keep the quantity controlled as possible. Now for these tanks, you can have maybe 2 to 3 trios, but if you have smaller tanks, smaller containers, I recommend 1 trio, which is 1 male and 2 females.
Females are bigger fish, while males on the other hand are smaller and are more vibrant.
Now the reason why in a trio there are 2 females is to reduce the stress from the male, since having only 1 female will mean that the male will be focused on that fish. So even here in our manual transfer containers, we try to do our best to keep 2 females, so they won't be stressed out by having a male constantly follow them. The quantities checked out, good. Now is the quality. It's just that important. If you want to keep them clean, if you want to keep them thriving, gotta do some effort to make them thrive, and that is by keeping a good setup. I'll admit, sometimes we kind of fail on keeping the tanks clean, but just do your best, because doing the best means better chances for better fish. Now keeping fish isn't like mobile games where they can proliferate in seconds. These are real fish, and they only multiply every few months. Now for guppies, yeah, they breed kinda quick, maybe like 6 months, about a few months, then they can get pregnant again. It's just patience, patience, because it's a very long process. The crayfish here, if you watch our first video, we've only started with a few start, and now we have a lot more, tens, maybe even hundreds in the next few years, but only hundreds. As you noticed, only hundreds. It doesn't get to thousands in just a single year. Really takes time to keep these. Third, which is the biggest point I'm gonna make, is pregnancy. Main focus. I'm gonna give you 2 points. First is observation. There are many signs there are to tell if a guppy is pregnant or not.
Pregnant guppies usually have a dark or enlarged gravid spot and have increased hiding behavior around the tank.
And the second point is to reduce stress. For this point, kid separation and large tanks with good hiding spaces can reduce the most stress out of these females. As I end this video off, I'm just gonna tell you a little side note. It won't be easy at all. It may take a couple steps to get there to your peak, but just be patient and keep your fish going by taking good care of them and being observant, because they might have conditions you might not know. So yeah, be patient, be observant for the fish and for their proliferation, if you get what I'm saying. If you made this far into the video, thanks for watching all the way to today. I will be posting a 1-year anniversary update for our aquatic animals, especially for our crayfish. Thank you guys for sticking with us again, and stay tuned for more videos. And if you mind, check out our previous videos to see our growth on this journey. It took me so long to say that. Okay, without further ado, thanks for watching. That felt so weird. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Oh, and by the way, these tips can apply to other live bearers. Yeah, just a quick side note. So swordtails are also live bearers. That's a quick tip if you ask me. Since they're live bearers, they're pretty much the same in terms of taking care of guppies. That's why you have swordtails here. Back then we had platies, if you watched our previous ones. But the platies did die out because both of them were males. So we bred swordtails instead. These are second generation swordtails, and we hope that they'll have more babies in the future. Okay, I've made this video too long. Thanks for watching. See you next video.